We're almost live.
All right, let's do it. My hair is just not fixing today.
Very good. Assalamualaikum everyone. Hope you guys are all doing great today. We are live with you guys with another exciting week of Year Rehnumai. This is mashallah our fifth week in our Year Rehnumai series, and this series is brought to you by Rehnumai. Rehnumai is a one window solution that connects students to opportunities, scholarships, and admissions. And apart from that, we do much more for the young youth, like this series that we've brought for you guys. The title of the series that we have for you, designed for you guys, is Entrepreneurship. And throughout the week, we'll be, working through different phases of how you can set up your entrepreneurship, ventures, and how you can digitally monetize them, and how you can establish yourself in this career if you want to pursue it. तो आज हमारा बड़ा एक्साइटिंग टॉपिक है। और हमारा टॉपिक इस वीक हम स्टार्ट ऐसे करें कि हम बात करेंगे कि आप किस तरह से अपना पैशन जो है उसको स्टार्टअप में कन्वर्ट कर सकते हैं। तो एवरी गुड स्टार्टअप हैज़ अ गुड आइडिया बिहाइंड इट, एंड विल बी टॉकिंग ऑल अबाउट इट कि आपने अपने आइडिया को जो है वो एक अच्छी तख्लीकी शक्ल, क्रिएटिव शक्ल कैसे देनी है। तो उसके लिए हमारे पास हम वी आर वेरी ऑनर्ड टू हैव आवर गेस्ट टुडे हियर विद अस. She is an activist as well as a social entrepreneur. एंड मैं जो हूँ वो इनका ज़्यादा इंट्रोडक्शन नहीं दूंगी, मैं चाहूँगी खुद अपनी कहानी और अपना बताएं कि इन्होंने अपना पैशन जो है उसको स्टार्टअप में कैसे तब्दील किया था अपने स्टार्टअप्स के अंदर. शी हैज़ 2 स्टार्टअप्स. तो अस्सलाम वालेकुम खालिदा, क्या हाल है आपका?
Walaikum assalam, Rabil. I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. So tell us, how can we convert our passion into our startups, and how did you yourself, turn your passions into your startups? Tell us your story.
Wow. Well, my story is too long, so मैं उसमें नहीं जाऊंगी, so I don't have to like take everybody's time. लेकिन I want to get to the point where how did I start, because I'm seeing कि उस वक्त मुझे इतना ये crucial नहीं लग रहा था step. अब इतना अहम लग रहा है कि जब मैं 16 साल की थी, how did I start as a 16-year-old? Why did I not think anything of it? Well, one of the things that helped was how passionate I was at the time, and I still am. But as a teenager, when you are really determined about something, you think you can conquer the world. तब एक बहुत ही सैड इंसिडेंट हुआ था हमारी फैमिली में. मैं बलूचिस्तान से बिलोंग करती हूँ, तो मेरी फैमिली काफ़ी स्ट्रिक्ट है और कंजर्वेटिव है. आई मीन देयर इज ब्यूटीफुल ट्रेडिशंस, बहुत सारे खूबसूरत कस्टम्स हैं, लेकिन एक कस्टम के नाम पे मेरी कज़न को कत्ल किया गया था, ऑनर किलिंग के नाम पे. And I had just found out. And being brought up in this culture, and to know how many opportunities there are for you, and suddenly for all those opportunities to end because you find out that they can actually use the culture against you. Like, it's a very male dominated society. So what happened is I was like, I'm gonna end honor killings. As a 16-year-old, I'm like, this is it, I'm doing it. And that kind of determination was the first step to starting anything at all. You see, the thing about entrepreneurship is, and I wouldn't call myself an entrepreneur at that time, I was an activist. But the thing about starting anything at all, is you do have a great idea, but the main part is actually working on it. Uske upar kaam karna. When you take that first step is when you actually do this work that you're planning to do. So I didn't know what to do. I just had one skill. I was drawing, I was making poetry. I was like, I'm going to compose poetry, and I'm going to read it everywhere. And that's how I kind of started. And then soon I was being invited to big conferences that were actually related to honor killings, because they wanted me to read these poems. And that's where I started making my allies and connecting to people, and soon launched my own youth program.
बेहतरीन. एंड तो इसमें जो आपने मुझे अपनी कहानी, जो आपने अपने आप ने मुझे बताया कि हाउ यू स्टार्टेड, what what I'm seeing in this is that there was an instant in your life that motivated you towards an idea, and then you converted that idea into your whole career. आपने उसका अपना फिर career उस idea को form कर दिया, ठीक है? तो tell us कि as we move into this formation कि ये जो हम प्रोसेस से हम गुजरेंगे कि हम इस पे बात करेंगे किस तरह से आप अपने एक पैशन को अपने उसमें स्टार्ट में कन्वर्ट करते हो. तो लेट्स ट्राई टू डिफाइन पैशन फर्स्ट. यू कैन टेक योर एग्जांपल एंड अपनी एक एग्जांपल ले सकती हैं. आप वैसे ले सकती हैं कि पैशन जो है वो क्या है और पैशन किस तरह से जो है वो ज़रूरी है हमारी ज़िंदगी में, कन्वर्टिंग इट टू अ बिगर पिक्चर.
Well, I let me say something here कि बहुत दफ़ा हम लोगों की अपनी एक understanding होती है passion की, and that's fine too, because a lot of times compassion, passion, empathy, all these things come to us very differently as personally. मेरे लिए जो passion था वो ये है कि मेरी जिंदगी ये इस तरह का नहीं था कि ओ आई हैव दिस पैशन टू ट्रैवल द वर्ल्ड, मैं बैक पैकिंग के लिए जाऊंगी, मैं इन मुल्कों में जाऊंगी. लेकिन वो पैशन बहुत सैड था. एक बहुत डरावना, एक बहुत बड़ा खतरनाक इंसिडेंट हुआ था मेरी फैमिली में, और मेरा पैशन इस तरह से उससे निकला कि मैं इन सब से बदला लूंगी. तो एक गुस्से की उसका एक रीजन गुस्सा था या फिर बदला था. Halanki, eventually it all changed into forgiveness, into bringing the whole tribe together. But at the same time, I truly believe that passion can be very different for everybody. But some of the symptoms that are, if it doesn't let you sleep, if it doesn't let you eat, if you have forgotten everything else, if you think about it all the time, it is your passion. And if you don't do something about it, you are going to live the regret of not doing anything about for the rest of your life.
सही, बेहतरीन. सो यू हैव आपने बड़े उसको एक खूबसूरत तरीके से आपने डिफाइन किया है. अच्छा, यहाँ पर ना एक सवाल आता है कि चूंकि हमारे हमारे साथ जो आज जो लोग एंगेज हैं, मोस्टली फ्रॉम यूथ, सो दे मे बी फ्रॉम 18 to 25 और 25 प्लस, तो 35 एक ही रेंज है. तो अक्सर लोग होते हैं जिनके पास एंड इट्स नथिंग, देयर इज नथिंग रॉन्ग विद इट, बट समटाइम्स पीपल आर अनएबल टू डिफाइन देयर पैशन. तो they will be like, I don't know what I'm interested in, like मेरा क्या मकसद है, कभी वो उन्हें पता नहीं चलता. तो I want you to talk about this thing phenomena कि how to if you still haven't recognized your passion, how to help yourself
Yeah.
find it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've spoken about this previously as well. ये मेरे लिए बहुत अहम टॉपिक है, क्योंकि अब ये हो रहा है कि जितना हम मॉडर्न होते जा रहे हैं, जितना हम एक ऐसी कम्युनिटी में जा रहे हैं जहाँ पे इश्यूज कम से कम होते जा रहे हैं, और एटलीस्ट हम समझ रहे हैं कि इश्यूज कम हो रहे हैं, तब हमारे यंगस्टर्स फील कर रहे हैं कि उनको कोई स्टेप नहीं लेना चाहिए, और दे डोंट फील ऑब्लिगेटेड टू. द अदर थिंग दैट हैपेंस इज बहुत सारे इश्यूज हो जाते हैं, बहुत सारे. ये भी है, क्लाइमेट चेंज है, लैंड राइट्स है. तो यंगस्टर्स अमूमन परेशान हो जाते हैं कि हम इनमें से कौन सा करें, या फिर हमारे लिए सारे ही अहम है तो मैं सब पे ही काम करूंगी. So that's also bad. And that's when I actually remind people, especially the young people, to look back to your life and think of those moments जब आप अपने पेरेंट्स के साथ खड़े थे या अपने फैमिली के साथ बैठे हुए थे, जब एक ऐसा टॉपिक छिड़ा जिसपे आपने अपने चेस्ट में एक फायर फील किया. आपने फील किया कि अगर आप बात नहीं करेंगे तो ये बात आगे नहीं बढ़ेगी. इफ यू डिडंट स्पीक अप, देयर वुड बी नो जस्टिस. आप जस्ट रिमेम्बर दैट इंसिडेंट जिसमें इतना गुस्सा आया और इतनी खुशी आई, जिसमें आपकी फीलिंग्स 100% इंक्रीज हो गए. वो आपका पैशन था. अमूमन हमें पता नहीं चलता, हम बैठे बैठे किसी एक बहुत बड़ी इंजस्टिस पे बात कर लेते हैं. हम कहते हैं कि अच्छा क्यों नहीं अपनी बेटियों को पढ़ा रहे हैं, आई कैंट बिलीव लोग ये कर रहे हैं, और बल्कि उनके घर जाके उनको कह रहे हैं कि अपनी बेटी को पढ़ाओ. फिर हम अपने घर में जाके सोचते हैं कि हाय अल्लाह, मेरा पैशन क्या है. इतना बड़ा पैशन आपके सामने है, use that. Whatever makes you angry, whatever drives you to think, to speak up, that's your passion. That's what I believe.
और इसमें ड्रिवन की, बिकॉज आपका तो एक काफी सैड इंसिडेंट ड्रोव यू ना, तो इसमें हैप्पी इंसिडेंट्स भी हो सकते हैं आपकी लाइफ में दैट जस्ट ड्राइव यू, और
Exactly.
मे बी
Exactly.
in your university and you're looking up at someone and someone is doing something great and you're like, oh my god, कितना अच्छा काम कर रहा है, maybe I should do that. And if you, even if you have that spark, you never forget it, just write it down and put it work into it. Maybe that could be a driver of
For
your
sure.
thing. अच्छा, तो हमने ये बात की, तो खालिदा लेट्स मूव ऑन के नाउ लेट्स ज्यूम कि हम इस अपनी जर्नी पे, इस अजम्पशन पे आ गया, हमने अपना पैशन जो है वो डिफाइन कर लिया, हमें पता चल गया हमें इस चीज़ का शौक है. So let's talk about how to convert it. Like what are the skills required? What are the platforms required? And just take from your own story and tell us कि इसमें basics क्या क्या चीजें हैं जो कि जरूरत है to convert it into something that helps the people and helps you as well in the same scenario.
Exactly. I'm just going to go back to my childhood and tell a little story जो मेरे लिए बहुत अहम है, क्योंकि मैं एक रूरल कम्युनिटी में पैदा हुई थी, फिर उसके बाद हम स्लम कम्युनिटीज में बड़े हुए, उसके बाद हम कराची के गिजरी एरिया में आए, फिर उसके बाद से हम मिडिल क्लास तक पहुंचे. एक बहुत ही स्लो प्रोसेस था जिसमें हमने डिफरेंट क्लासेस देखे अपनी जिंदगी में, डिफरेंट क्लासेस ऑफ कैटेगरीज ऑफ पीपल इन पाकिस्तान. उस सब में एक चीज बहुत ही नॉर्मल थी, एक चीज बहुत ही कॉमन थी, वो ये है कि जहाँ पे भी जिस भी क्लास में आप पैसा बनाने की बात करते थे, दे वुड लुक एट यू रियली बैडली, दे वुड स्क्रूटनाइज, बी लाइक अच्छा जी अब अपना बिजनेस खोलने की अब पैसा छापने का दिल कर रहा है इनका, ये हो गया वो. तो I've seen that entrepreneurship has been discouraged. Perhaps our new generation is different, but for us, it was completely like it's a sinful thought even. So all people were thinking about was like, okay, अब non-profit बनाना है, non-profit बनाना है, बल्कि क्योंकि उसमें ना हम अपने लिए कुछ रख सकते हैं, ना कोई उसमें हमारा फायदा है, और अच्छा लगेगा लोगों को कि हमारा non-profit है,
Essentially
तो वो
एक
directly.
नॉन प्रॉफिट वो होती है, just to clarify with the audience, नॉन प्रॉफिट वो होती है जहाँ पर आप कुछ कमाते नहीं, you're just giving away everything that you earn,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly. So many youngsters who were actually really passionate about economic opportunities, bringing economic opportunities to their families, they would end up launching nonprofits for no good reason. So I want to emphasize that nonprofits have their own importance. उनकी अलग से एक importance है, उनकी अलग से एक category है. आपको जरूरी नहीं है कि you have to be a nonprofit. Go for money making, because आज के दौर में अगर अच्छे लोगों ने पैसे नहीं कमाए, वो पैसे जाया हो सकते हैं, वो अपॉर्चुनिटीज जाया हो सकती हैं. हमारे यहाँ बहुत
Right.
अच्छी अच्छी अपॉर्चुनिटीज हैं, उनको लें, और उसमें कोई बुराई नहीं है कि अगर आप अपनी फैमिली के लिए पैसे कमा रहे हैं, अपनी कम्युनिटीज के लिए पैसे कमा रहे हैं, डू द थिंग्स दैट वी डिडंट डू. मैंने सारी जिंदगी एक्टिविज्म की एंड आई लव इट. आई मीन आई एंडेड अप बिकमिंग रियली गुड एट व्हाट आई डू. एंड देन फाइनली बस 5 साल पहले मैंने एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप में अपना कदम रखा, लेकिन आई सी हाउ मच पोटेंशियल देयर इज. अच्छा, अब शुरू करते हैं. हाउ डू यू स्टार्ट? How do you start? How do you take a step? So let's go back to what your passion is. अच्छा और difficult, सही है. अच्छा जैसे कि I mean एक खुश, मेरी उर्दू को पता नहीं क्या हो गया. अच्छा, something that makes you happy, something that makes you sad. So you go back to both of them and you're like, whenever I make art, whenever I paint, it makes me very happy. That's your passion. Or you say, whenever I speak up about child marriages, whenever I speak about girl education, that makes me happy. So making those into two passions, into two startups for you would be your first step. So in this, I want to emphasize that whenever you're talking about entrepreneurship, you're talking about giving jobs, bringing jobs, or bringing economic opportunities, or selling a product that the world needs. So think of it that way. If you're painting, is your art gonna sell? Do you think there's a market for it? Do you think that it has enough potential to make it to the market? Mashallah, one of the things is any art does have the potential if it is framed in such a way, if it is introduced in such a way to the world. And the other thing is, now talking about child marriages, अच्छा उसको entrepreneurship में कैसे लाया जा सकता है? ये तो एक activism वाली बात, ये तो एक behavioral change वाली बात हो गई. अब behavioral change में कैसे entrepreneurship को लेके आ सकते हैं? And that is by bringing jobs to people. I want to give a really good example of a company that is in Pakistan called Popinjay. So the way they started, this is really amazing. My friend Sabagul is really awesome. So when they started, they went into the schools. They worked with these young girls who were actually being taken away from the schools every day because, they would reach their puberty, and their parents would be like, "No, now
तो
you
यहाँ
can't
पर
go."
उनका जो passion था was to stop child labor, and then
Exactly, stop child marriages and to enable girl education.
सही
So what they did to make these girls stay in the school, to have their parents let them stay in the school, was to give these girls economic opportunities. So
सही
what they did is they changed their last period of the class from whatever it was into embroidery, using what these girls were already doing to have them stay in the village, stay in the school. So they would make this embroidery, and this company would make these embroidery into bags, and they would sell it, and the income would go to the girl who's staying into school until the last period, studying and learning, and then waiting for that period to make embroidery that can sell and bring income to their family. I mean, what a fantastic idea. It ended up
exactly.
exactly right. So it ended up leading to a lot of girls going back to school because they wanted to be a part of it. So there's so many opportunities like that where you can see how you can benefit other people, but at the same time benefit yourself as well and your family.
So just taking this example, what I understood from your this was कि उन्होंने क्या किया कि उन्होंने एक प्रॉब्लम देखी सोसाइटी में, उन्होंने एक मॉडल बनाया which she was not only helping herself, have that financial stability, but she also helped a lot of other girls, school girls, and help them, make pocket money for themselves, and maybe give some of that back to their parents as well. तो ये
Exactly.
she was just making the छोटी सी इकोनॉमी ग्रो, पाकिस्तान की छोटी सी इकोनॉमी में उन्होंने हाथ भी डाल दिया बच्चे एक तरीके से। तो सो दिस इज व्हाट वी आर हियर टू टॉक अबाउट कि किस तरह से जो है वो आपका छोटा ऐसा आइडिया यू कैन बिल्ड इट टू अ बिगर थिंग। अच्छा खालदा, अब हमने बात की है कि अब हम ना कन्वर्जन पे ही जाते हैं, मजीद उसमें टॉपिक्स को कुरेदते हैं कि
Yeah, there's so much to it. There's so much to it. I mean, it's just like we are at the very tip of it. There's a lot to talk about.
lot to talk about. So let's just simply start कि आपने you defined a passion. अच्छा, अब यहाँ पर आप जब आपने सोचा होता है कि आपका पैशन है, तो यहाँ पर जब एक बच्चा बिल्कुल स्टार्ट होता है, उसके दिमाग में सवाल आता है कि जो मैं काम करना चाह रहा हूँ वो तो कोई और लोग भी काम कर रहे हैं, तो how do I bring that uniqueness to my thing? I want to मैं भी चाहती हूँ कि मैं बच्चियों की जल्दी शादी होने से रोकूं, चाहूँ कि वो एजुकेशन के लिए,
Right.
but already Sabakul is doing that, someone is doing that. How do I bring uniqueness to my idea? Please tell us कि हम uniqueness कैसे ला सकते हैं अपना idea?
Okay. I mean, I'm one of those who would be like, do not start something new. Go and join someone else who's already doing it.
Okay.
Kyunki the thing is, you don't have to create, you don't have to restart the cycle. There's so many wonderful organizations, so many wonderful initiatives that are already doing amazing. उनको जाके उनके लिए एसेट्स बने, या उनके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन भी शुरू आपने एक छोटे से अहदे से शुरू किया, लेकिन you can actually go to a really high level into that organization if you're passionate about it. Not starting the cycle is one of the things we need to remember, because in Pakistan ये चीज बहुत ज्यादा होती है कि हर कोई एक ही चीज पे काम कर रहा होता है, लेकिन अलग अलग। ये मैं इसलिए कह रही हूँ क्योंकि हमें बहुत ज्यादा इश्यूज हुए इस हवाले से। जब हम
अच्छा।
विलेजेस में काम कर रहे थे, तो हमने देखा कि बहुत सारे ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं, लेकिन वो हमारे साथ नहीं मिलके काम करना चाह रहे, वो अपनी अलग से करना चाह रहे। एंड that's the weird thing about it, because when you're trying to help the communities, you actually don't know कि इसमें कौन सा फायदा है आपका, कि जो अपना आप अलग से इसमें ब्रांड दिखा रहे हैं या अपना अलग से काम दिखा रहे हैं। अगर आपका काम बिल्कुल मैच करता है, अगर आपका एंड गोल बिल्कुल मैच करता है, तो वर्क टुगेदर, प्लीज फाइंड वेज टू वर्क टुगेदर, बिकॉज दैट वुड बी मोर सक्सेसफुल. Whenever communities, whenever people, especially women, whenever women work together, good things happen. अच्छा, अब अगर आपका आइडिया डिफरेंट है, आपका गोल सेम है, लेकिन आपका आइडिया डिफरेंट है, और आपको ये देखना है कि ये आइडिया किसी और ने किया तो नहीं है, ये फेल तो नहीं हुआ पहले. You have to do your research, because once you start and you go to that point where you fail just like someone else did, and it's okay to fail. I failed like more than 17, 18 times really badly.
अच्छा.
So once you go to that step, and you recognize that, oh no, someone else did this and they also had failed, might as well not regret. So do your research and find out what are the things that will work and what won't. Now, if your idea is extremely unique, you have done your pilot project. So pilot project is actually something I highly recommend. For example, even if you're actually doing art, to do a small exhibition, bring people in and see if it works. If people are like, whoa, this is amazing, or start a social media page and people are like, this is such great, this art is beautiful, please make this into something bigger than this. So then that's when you know, oh wow, this works, so I'm going to do it. For a community project, your pilot would be to do a small project in one area, even with one family, and see if that works, if it is sustainable, if you can move forward with it. And once that works, you can actually take it to the next level and the next and the next.
सही. अच्छा, इसमें ना when we talk about taking your idea to the next step, when आप एक छोटे से पायलट प्रोजेक्ट से स्टार्ट करें then do it. अब पायलट प्रोजेक्ट में कुछ मसाइल आते हैं. आई वांट यू टू टॉक अबाउट दोज कि अब जो मेरे दिमाग में आइडियाज आ रहे हैं, मसले आएंगे. दे कुड बी फाइनेंशियल, दे कुड बी सोशल, दे कुड बी
Yeah.
फैमिली इश्यूज. टेल अस how you dealt with them, because coming from Balochistan, it's and from the tribal areas, it's definitely not easy for a woman to have her own organization, and not only in Pakistan but also working from the US. So that's a major step into that. So थोड़ा सा वो बताएं कि आप how would you encourage women to do this, and then so डिफिकल्टीज क्या आती है उनको ओवरकम करके. तो आपने सीखा क्या है कि जो डिफिकल्टीज आपने देखी इनको आप किस तरह से बेहतर तरीके से ओवरकम कर सकते
For sure. I mean, बहुत सारे मसले हुए थे जब मैंने स्टार्ट करने की बात की थी.
हैं.
I actually didn't know. मुझे बहुत ज़्यादा प्यार मिला था अपने father से. I loved my traditions, so everybody loved me in the villages as well. लेकिन जब मैंने बात की औरतों के हुकूक की, चलो जी, पूरा setup change हो गया. I became the bad woman, the girl who wants to speak up against our culture and everything. This happened for many years, for at least 4 to 5 years from when I started. Like, and after that, things changed eventually as our model became better and better. लेकिन जब मैंने स्टार्ट किया था, सबसे पहला कदम था, और ये दूसरे मुल्कों में नहीं होता, आई थिंक हमारे मुल्क में ज्यादा ही होता है. द फर्स्ट स्टेप टू गेट योर पेरेंट्स टू एग्री, टू गेट देम टू लेट यू डू इट. तो ये जब स्टेप हुआ था, तब मैंने ये स्टेप लिया था. मैं बहुत ज्यादा, क्योंकि मैं बहुत ज्यादा गुस्से में थी, बहुत ज्यादा दुख में थी, मैंने अब्बू से कहा कि मैं स्कूल नहीं जाऊंगी. आप लोग
अच्छा.
मुझे पढ़ा रहे हैं. हम लोग हमारे अब्बू ने हमें विलेज से लेकर एक स्लम कम्युनिटीज में लेके आए थे, सिर्फ इसलिए कि हम स्कूल जाएं. उसके बाद कराची इसलिए आए थे सिर्फ हम अच्छे स्कूल्स में जाएं. तो एक ट्राइब से होते हुए हमको अगर ये सारी अपॉर्चुनिटीज मिल रही थी और दूसरों को बिल्कुल भी नहीं, बल्कि मुझे ये पता चला कि कस्टम के नाम पे कत्ल हो रहे हैं कजन्स के, तो उसके बाद आई वाज लाइक, आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू द स्कूल. यू नो
अच्छा.
how dare I do this? So then my father's like, okay, you want to start something on it, do it. You don't have to not say anything. I mean, you don't have to stop yourself, but you're gonna have to do something for me. Go to school. So I was very determined. He knew I would stop going to school, and this would be a big step. He'd worked so hard to send us. So finally I started, and a lot of times our parents don't know how capable we can be. I started with just poetry, and then got discovered, and worked with other communities, and then launched my own youth program, launched a campaign. I mean, this was step by step over
So
the 15
how
years.
so let me यहाँ पे मैं आपको रोकना चाह रही हूँ. तो आपने एक तो बताया कि आपने अपने अब्बू से कहा कि नहीं भी मैंने ये करना है. एक तो आपने वहाँ पे एक स्टेप लिया. तो टेल अस कि आपने उन्हें कन्विंस कैसे किया कि आप जो कर रही हैं इट्स वैलिड, इट्स गुड, इट्स डूइंग समथिंग, मेरे अंदर काबिलियत है कि अब्बू मैं जाके जो है ना बात कर सकती हूँ लोगों से. तो आपने ये कैसे किया? प्लीज टेल अस.
I
यू नो
mean,
हाँ.
उनको उनको कभी भी ये नहीं लगेगा कि आप लोग अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं.
अच्छा.
तुम्हारे पेरेंट्स को बहुत मुश्किल से समझ आएगा. इनफैक्ट इट माइट टेक years and years जब उनको पता चलेगा कि अच्छा काम अच्छा है, it is impactful. All you have to do is get them to agree to let you start, to give you the freedom to do what you want to do. और मेरे लिए सबसे बड़ी बात थी, हम लोग अलाउ ही नहीं थे हमें अकेले जाना allow नहीं था कहीं, and here I am invited to Islamabad. So all these things were happening. Like in the first step, of course, was to be like that. If I don't start, I'm not going to school. So that's how it started. But at the same time, the other thing that my parents were seeing that was very helpful was that I wasn't disrespecting anyone. I wasn't going around and being like, end this, end all the men, this is what's happening. I wasn't using my anger in such a disrespectful way that they thought that it would be bad for me. Even though my
Same.
mother was always worried about my safety, but eventually they were supportive of me.
So, so what you did, what element that you added in your, instructing your business was कि आपने जो है ना वो जो respect और आपके जो घर की values हैं बिल्कुल उनको intact रखते हुए अपने आप move forward किया था. So that I
Yeah,
think is
yeah,
another really good tip कि आप अपनी values को अपने parents को आप satisfy ऐसे कर सकते हो कि उन्हें उन्हें यकीन दिलाओ कि मैं सब में values अपनी नहीं छोड़ूंगी,
yeah,
and then I will take my values and make something good out of it. So that is
yeah.
something we should be very mindful of.
I
Acha.
speak about this as well. I mean, I'm just going to go back to the point a little bit. Kyunki this is one of the hardest steps for many people. I have spoken about this on my Instagram account a lot of times, that how
Acha.
to convince your parents about something. Like, you have to remember that your parents are always many times stopping you for some of the reasons. One of those biggest is they're afraid for you. They're scared that something will happen to you. The second thing is that you will disrespect someone, and there would be safety issues, and safety issues for you and for the family. And the third is, of course, no one will marry you. If you're a girl, they would be like, no one will marry you, and the same opportunities won't come for your family. So there's always fears that are very real for them. So go to their level and understand that, and then speak to them
एक हाँ
like
इसमें
that.
मैं भी चेक किए लड़कियों के लिए एक मसला आता है कि वो सोचते हैं कि मतलब वो अपनी सोसाइटी में कुछ ऐसे केसेस देख लेते हैं जिनमें लड़कियों की लेट शादियां होती हैं, तो देर लाइक अगर तुम बहुत पढ़ लोगी और तुम भी अनमैरिड रह गई तो फिर मतलब देर जस्ट अफ्रेड ऑफ दैट. तो ये एक बड़ा फैक्टर जो है डिफिकल्टी जो
Right.
लड़कियों के एजुकेशन में और करियर बिल्डिंग में आता है. तो जस्ट इन वन लाइन हाउ कैन वन कन्विंस दैम कि भाई नहीं मतलब मुझे काम करना है, तो एक तरह अब अगर आप फंसो तो
Yeah.
solution to that.
Okay. So, with respect, with everything, ask them something. This one sentence. Okay. Ask them this one question. What will they lose if they let you do it? What will they lose? अपनी इज्जत, अपना पैसा, अपना मकाम, अपने बहन भाई. I mean, if they are going to lose something really big that is going to stop you from your dreams, then listen to them about it. Many times it's nothing.
Perfect.
It's just fear. लोग क्या कहेंगे? So ask them what they will lose, and they're gonna have
Perfect.
to respond to you.
Chale, let's move from our parents and let's move toward the finance part of starting a startup. You are a kid, you're 18, you're 19, you're 21, you're 22. ठीक है, लेकिन अभी तक आप अपने अब्बू के पैसों पे सब कर रहे हो. ठीक है, अभी तक आप अपने अब्बू के पैसों पे आपने एजुकेशन पढ़ी है, आप बाहर जाते हो, सब कुछ करते हो. तो how to start from scratch, how to build something financially, scale में.
Exactly. Okay. This is very important in Pakistan क्योंकि हम वहाँ पे हमारे यहाँ ये अपॉर्चुनिटीज नहीं है कि अच्छा जाके किसी का कार धो लो तो पैसे मिल जाते हैं, किसी का बेबी सिटिंग कर लो तो पैसे मिल जाते हैं. I mean, there's not so many small opportunities that you can do at home, and especially for girls. तो अपने पैसे कमाने के लिए this is actually one of the biggest things for non-profits, because हम एज अ नॉन प्रॉफिट ग्रांट राइटिंग करते हैं, हम अप्लाई करते हैं प्रोजेक्ट्स के लिए.
हाँ.
ये एक अच्छा फायदा हो जाता है कि अच्छा आप बड़े यूएन के ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस है, यूएसएआईडी है, सबको आप प्रोजेक्ट प्रपोजल्स लिख सकते हैं, भेज सकते हैं. दैट्स व्हाट आई डिड. सो आई स्टार्टेड राइटिंग प्रोजेक्ट प्रपोजल्स. लेकिन जब आप एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप में जा रहे हैं, आपको पैसे चाहिए जो आप एज अ स्टार्टअप और एज अ पायलट प्रोजेक्ट शुरू करना चाह रहे हैं, you can actually start a very small group of investors within your family. This is,
अच्छा.
I know this might sound like, oh chalo ji jugaad kar liya, lekin jugaad is actually the key to entrepreneurship in our country. Agar humne
सही.
nahi kiya to hamari opportunities humse chale jayenge. You have to go to your certain aunt or uncle who can give you some money and be like, listen, I need like 10,000 rupees, I need to start something very small. Or you go to someone else, and always ask for something that you can return back. Of course, you're
सही.
going to have to take it as a loan. Now, the best thing is, mashallah, we are actually beyond that step in Pakistan. There's so many big companies that have launched their own loan opportunities, their own grant opportunities. In fact, one of my friends runs a company called Seed Out. They give
अच्छा.
small loans to any startups, like really great ideas. They give that the opportunities as well. And then another friend of mine, Kulsum Lakhani, they run a company called Invest to Innovate. They also give opportunities like that. There's actually clusters of these companies, and it's easy to do the research on Google, find them, and approach them and be like, this is my idea. And here's the thing, be shameless about reaching out to people. You have to keep doing it. If you're really passionate about it, don't just send an email and sit down and be like, Nobody cares about me, mera idea to flop ho gaya." You have to reach out to people again and again, with respect, of course, and try and meet them. If you can see them somewhere, if you can just see them for 5 minutes, give them your idea and see if they can help you. And then if they can't, they would recommend you to someone else. But don't give up so quickly. You can't give up very quickly, because it's going to be a long journey.
बेहतरीन. सो यू नो यू ये बड़ी ज़बरदस्त है. एक तो मुझे पर्सनली नहीं पता था, और आई एम श्योर ऑडियंस मस्ट हैव लर्न कि देयर आर पीपल, इफ यू नीड फंड्स, पहले तो आपके हो गए रिलेटिव्स, देन इफ यू नॉट हैव रिलेटिव्स, दे डोंट बिलीव, यू नो अब मसले आते हैं, दे डोंट बिलीव इन योर पैशन, दे डोंट बिलीव योर वर्क. तो आर यू गो आउट टू पीपल हु एक्चुअली विल बिलीव इन योर आइडिया, एंड यू नो जस्ट डोंट स्टॉप देयर. यू नो एक ईमेल बस ना भेजें, या सिर्फ गूगल सर्च ना करें, या इनको फेसबुक डीएम रीच ना करें. यू नो ट्राई टू रीच
No, Facebook or
आउट.
Instagram DM na kare. That's unprofessional.
Okay, look for emails, look for their assistant emails, and you know, email them. Perfect. अच्छा, तो हमने यहाँ पर बात कर ली कि फाइनेंशियल आप किस तरह से ना एक अपने जो स्टार्टअप है उसकी एक पैशन आइडिया को स्टार्टअप में कन्वर्ट करने, फाइनेंशियल आपकी आ गई, आपका आइडिया बिल्ड हो गया, आपके पेरेंट्स राजी हो गए. अच्छा, अब आई वांट टू टॉक अबाउट इज एक आइडिया आप लेकर आते हो. समटाइम्स अ सोसाइटी इज एबल टू absorb it, sometimes it does not absorb, and that's how I think most of the startups fail. You know, when you do not, I guess when, so tell us about how to do your homework when you're starting a startup. How to do that homework कि ये यहाँ पर चलेगा कि नहीं चलेगा.
Okay, that's very easy. I mean, you just have to do research to find out if someone else has done something similar. And if
अच्छा.
it's extremely similar, you go and join them. But if it's different from your idea, but their path and the goal was same, and their method of working with the community was same, and it didn't work, then you might see that these are the trends. The other thing is, you're going to have to find out what markets are you choosing, what communities are you choosing, and then
अच्छा.
you're going to have to get into their shoes. अब उन कम्युनिटीज में हमारे यहाँ गलती सबसे बड़ी जो मैंने भी की है, बहुत बड़ी गलती की है, कि हम लोग अस्यूम करते हैं कि इनको हमारी मदद चाहिए, हम तो जाके
अच्छा.
इनको रेस्क्यू करेंगे, ये सारा कुछ होगा. लेकिन जब तक हमने उनके शूज में जाके उनके नजरिए से सिचुएशन को नहीं देखा, तब तक हम उनके लिए अच्छा सोल्यूशन, सस्टेनेबल सोल्यूशन नहीं लेके आ सकते. और
नहीं.
सस्टेनेबल, वन ऑफ द थिंग यू हैव टू रिमेंबर, सस्टेनेबिलिटी इज की. अगर आपने स्टार्ट कर लिया, उस वक्त काम कर रहा है, सब लोग वाह वाह कर रहे हैं, आपने कुछ पैसे भी बना लिए, लेकिन the next year you're like broke, you don't have any money, that's not sustainable. You have to find a way to make your nonprofit or your startup a sustainable initiative. So one of the things I would say is, look at your issue, look at your solution from the point of view of from the local communities. If you can't, go meet those communities and sit with them on the floor, have chai with them, like talk about their lives. Do not go into the project, but just learn about them, learn about how they interact with each other. Then you go into the project, because once they open up to you as human beings, as communities, you will understand them so much more and
ठीक
respect
है.
them, and then
खालदा,
do the
ये
project
तो
according
हो
to
गया
them.
ना सोशल एंटरप्राइज के जिम्मे में आ गया. Let's talk about enterprises that are not social. You know, they are, you know, customer based, so they're like
Yeah,
dealing with the
yeah,
customer side. Let's talk about that. उसमें क्या करना चाहिए?
yeah. So you're saying if customer doesn't like it?
No, so I'm saying like, okay, I have a business where I want to sell homemade oils for hair.
Yeah,
ठीक
yeah.
है? Like now, like उसमें मुझे क्या homework करना है, और उसमें मुझे क्या वो base बनानी है.
That's actually a really fun idea.
Hmm.
So it's easy. All you have to do is start from your home in your neighborhood. If that oil is working, oh my God, here's actually, this is so funny. Um, oh, You know what? I was for the Black rights movement. I started reading a lot of books and watching some stuff to learn more. And I stumbled upon this really amazing series. I recommend everybody watches it. It's called Madam C.J. Clark on Netflix.
Okay.
This is
Okay.
amazing. She actually started a hair oil. She starts this hair oil and it grows and it's so big. So she tries it with her neighborhood. So you have to
Right.
start with, like, of course, giving free trials and seeing how it works. You have to see that you don't include anything toxic to it, so it's not like really hurting people. And a lot of times things will sell to your customers if you add storytelling to it. how
Achha.
how as a human being it will impact their lives, because we humans, we don't buy products, we buy experiences. How is it going to make me feel when you go to a market, when you go look at a dress that you really like, you're like, oh my god, that's an amazing print. You're actually not saying that. You're saying, wow, I would look amazing in that, I would feel confident in that. In your mind, that's the conversation you're having. So anytime you look at a device that we're like, oh, this is fancy, I can have this phone, you're not thinking like, oh, I'm going to make a lot of use of it, which is also something you would do. But at the same time, you're thinking how my life would get easier because now I would have many more apps. It's all about experiences. So when you approach your customer, tell them how their life would benefit, how they would be more confident, how they would feel like they're at the top of the world because of your product. And don't you don't have to lie, but make them feel beautiful, make them feel respected, and that's how people will respect your product as well.
Yeah, so you're here mentioning कि story अगर आप अपनी product के साथ एक लगा देंगे तो how it will help your product sell more. And it doesn't matter what your product it could be a social enterprise का एक आपका एक अच्छा मकसद हो सकता है, आपकी नॉन
Exactly.
प्रॉफिट का एक विजन हो सकता है, that you just have to spread it for people to not only attract customers but also attract investors. I
Yeah.
guess this is one of bigger
For
things that
sure.
we do.
Investors will listen to you if you have great graphs and a whole, plan for your 5 years, but they would agree with you when you have a great story to tell. Remember this, you have to, anytime you approach a human being, we are emotional creatures. We want to be involved in a way where something touches our heart, touches our soul. And the interesting thing is, you don't always have to make them feel like, oh, you can anger them, you can trigger something in them, because when something triggers, when their emotions are triggered, either it's your customer or your investor, they would listen, because that's how we humans are.
और मेरा क्या और मतलब यही और हमारा यही सही टॉक का मकसद है कि जो पैशन है वो स्टोरी पैशन विल हेल्प यू मेक अ स्टोरी राइट.
Of
I'll just put
course.
light on this one. How passion can go into a storytelling, and then storytelling can lead to a business.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes story comes before the passion. For example, you know your story, how your life evolved, and how suddenly something happened. For me, that's how it was. I felt like I was a normal girl, living in the villages and then coming to a slum area and then going to the cities. Suddenly, when this incident happened, I saw how my life was actually different. What angered me had been happening from a long time. Girls were being married at a child, at a small age. There were so many things that were happening, but I wasn't recognizing them until it triggered in me. And that's when I saw that my story had long started before this incident. And that's how I do it. I go anywhere, I tell my story, and I feel no shame in it, because if I don't tell my story, thousands of other women will suffer. So please do.
बेहतरीन तो यहाँ पर so just taking that first step, taking that first step after deciding what your passion is, and that could be a major rush into your your startup, like uska build
Yeah,
base with it, and that's how you can convert it. We are almost at the end of our session here, Khalda. Thank you for joining us. Do conclude what we talked about over here. I want you to conclude कि किस तरह से आप अपना पैशन जो है उसको कन्वर्ट कर सकते हैं into your startup. What do you
for
say?
sure. So first step is to finding what triggers you, what makes you angry, what makes you happy, what keeps you at night, finding that passion, and then saying, how do I let's say, I mean, let's just openly say it. How do I make money out of this? Or how do I support the communities? How do I end this custom? Or how do I work towards a certain thing? There are so many things that we want to do. So ask yourself that question. And if you can't find out, then do your research. Spend a lot of time working out, like, this is my passion. I want to use this as a startup. Do your research. And then once you find out, wait a second, I can do this thing. For example, if you are, what was the other thing? So let's say it's art. Oh, you're very passionate about photography. Okay. Here's the thing. Nobody knows that Airbnb actually has so many opportunities in Pakistan for experiences. You guys know that there's something called Airbnb experiences. You can actually, and even if not through Airbnb, you can actually sign yourself up as a photographer to take newcomers into that city around the beautiful areas, even if it's like a small, beautiful door you want to show them. Uh, Make yourself visible about that on social media. Promote yourself and share about what your skills are. This is something I actually am going to start a series on Instagram. How to so once you've started your startup, but how to promote it. People are not really good at promoting the good work they do. I meet so many young people who are like doing mind-blowing things, but they're not visible on social media. I'm like, okay, you really have to post some really great photos. So I'm going to be doing a series on my Instagram account, posting about how you can take those photos, where you can promote it, what are the wordings you should use, and how to tell your story with your brand. So please follow that. And then after that, so once you have created that, your passion is done, your startup is done, I want you to do a pilot project. Without starting the whole thing, do a small pilot project. And if you don't have money for it, approach someone who you can take a loan from, and then tell them what this idea is. And if it works, they would be your first investors, like their name will be on it. And of course, you will return their money as well. Do the pilot project. Once it works, then you start your company. Then you approach big investors. But when you approach investors, tell your story. Do not just show them numbers. Tell them your story and convince them based on how human beings feel, because we interact like that. Remember that. Hope that kind of
Yes.
concludes.
बेहतरीन बेहतरीन and I think you have very beautifully summed up what we wanted to convey to our audience today. Thank you so much, Khalda, for joining us. You're live from New York. I know we have this time difference. Thank you so much for coming live with
I'm not in New York at the moment.
Oh,
I'm towards Arizona. We have another location there for the chai
okay.
spot, but we're going in 10 days. Yeah.
Okay, mashallah. So, Behreen, thank you so much again. Now, I would like to thank my audience who were live with us, who were watching us, and I hope you guys learned a lot. And inshallah, कल हम फिर हाजिर होंगे आपके साथ with a new exciting topic. कल हमारा topic है business versus enterprise. So, what we're talking about कि आप business को एक enterprise से कैसे differentiate करते हो और क्या एक enterprise के अंदर आपने क्या क्या जो नए आपने कहीं काम करने होते हैं. तो थैंक यू सो मच गाइस फॉर ज्वाइनिंग. इंशाल्लाह कल आपसे फिर मिलेंगे 7:30 PM विद योर रहनुमाई. तब तक के लिए अल्लाह हाफिज. अपना ख्याल रखिएगा, अपने घर वालों का ख्याल रखिएगा.
Love is everyone. Thank you so much, Rabil. Take care.
थैंक यू. अल्लाह
Allah
हाफिज.
Hafiz.
अल्लाह हाफिज.